Listen, I know that not everybody wants to be a crochet designer. Here's the thing though, even if you don't want to be a designer, you still deserve creative freedom. You can still play and explore and check things out and mix things up, push some boundaries and even break a little bit of rules as long as you know where that line is. You're not going to disrespect or devalue the creators of the patterns that you love so much. My name's Marty. I'm an amigurumi designer, and I believe that crochet is a sculptural art, not a rigid set of rules. So around here, we like to flip the script and bend the rules, and we have a damn good time doing it. I'm really glad that you're here. I talked about knowing where that ethical line is, and it's kind of hazy at first. We are trained or led to believe that patterns are they're like gold. You follow the pattern exactly as it is, and this is what you're going to get. And that's cool if that's what you want. But what if your style is a little bit different? What if in your mind, you see different changes that could make that pattern even better for you? You can definitely do those things. You can mix, you can match, you can take 2 or 3 patterns and put them together to create something that's completely different without disrespecting those designers. So let me tell you a story. That ethical line was kind of blurred for me. Let me show you. My very first design, it was the first time that I decided to go all out and play. Now, everybody that has been around for a while knows that the flying pig, I hold the flying pig very deep in my heart for numerous reasons I might get into in another video. But there was a pattern that I found. It was a tutorial here on YouTube, and the pig was so stinking cute, but I wanted to switch it up because I didn't like the positioning of the pig. Really, I just liked the face. So I decided I was going to change some stuff. And then I found another pattern with the wings that I liked, so I put them together. This is the prototype for my angel piggy. The face belonged to one pattern, the wings belonged to another pattern, and the body is mine. It's a blob. It's fine. We're fine. It's a blob. The point is that while there was nothing wrong with me doing this, I wouldn't feel comfortable selling the pattern because it's not totally and completely mine. I'm taking some pieces and parts. I don't remember where I found the wings, but as long as you give the credit to that designer, it's okay. That's really all a designer wants. They want credit for what they've done. We work hard as designers. We work hard. It takes hours and hours and hours and multiple, I call this a prototype, multiple times that we have to make something in order to create a viable pattern that people can follow. So that's why it's so important to respect designers, but also giving them credit for the parts of their pattern that you did use. That's really all anybody wants. That's enough. You know, when I first started crocheting, which amazingly enough was not that long ago, I started crocheting in November of 2022. I really thought that if I didn't follow a pattern or a tutorial exactly like it was stated, that I was somehow, disrespecting them, or I was gonna mess it up, like completely and totally mess it up, because I didn't really know what I was doing. And I hadn't really considered the fact that crochet is an art form. It really, truly is. Nobody has a patent or a copyright on the individual stitches, the single crochet, the double crochet, triple crochet, slip stitch, all of that. It's the combination and the way that you use them and how you incorporate them into the pattern that belongs to you or to the designer. I was a lot nervous at first to try something different. I didn't think that I had a right to. When I decided to make my angel piggy, I might as well just go ahead and tell you. My granddaughter was born in 2018. I've always collected pigs. I don't know why. They're so freaking cute and I love them. But when she was born in 2018, I called her Piggy because close to my heart. That was my piggy pig. I loved that girl so, so deeply. And when she passed away in 2019, she became my angel piggy. I'm not trying to get emotional. Here's the thing. When I decided that I was going to deviate from the pattern, I deviated from the pattern because I wanted something that would consistently all the time remind me of my angel piggy, always. And I have it. Is it something that I'm going to make money off of? No, it's not. But that's not the purpose. When you have something in your mind, an idea or a thought or something that lights you up, even if you can't find a pattern, if you change it and alter it because you want it that way, because it is something that's speaking to your soul, there is literally nothing wrong with that. It is okay to make that project yours. I think the thing is, and even when I was creating the Angel Piggy, I didn't consider myself a designer because designers are, well, they're other people, right? They're people who, I don't know, people who had a plan, who actually set out to do something. I was just somebody who really loved to crochet. And I had something in my mind that it was kind of like an internal kind of conflict. It took me a while to overcome it because that mindset of I'm not a designer. I have to be a designer in order to do a project the way that I want a project, not necessarily the way that the pattern says it should be. That mindset really kept me stuck. The truth is, I wasn't scared of the stitches. I was kind of scared of screwing up. I didn't want to change anything because I was scared I was going to ruin it, but I really kind of felt like I was doing something wrong. I don't know how else to put it. Let me know in the comments if you have ever experienced that. Like if you wanted to do something different with a particular pattern, or maybe even wanted to mix and match them, but felt like it was wrong somehow. Let me know if you've ever felt like that, because that guilt is, it's real. That guilt is something else. I'm telling you. I don't know, it kind of felt like the crochet police were going to come knocking on my door or something. But honestly, when I created this, yes, it was for my angel baby. And I love it. I will love it forever. This taught me a lot about myself. It helped me decide that, maybe even though I'm not a designer at the time, I didn't consider myself a designer, but it was fun to play. It was fun to experiment. As adults, I think that we are taught that experimenting is bad, that we should just go with the flow and do what people tell us to do. But it stifles creativity. I feel like it needs to be unleashed. Even if it's just something small, like if you're doing an amigurumi, if you change the shape of an ear, or if you change the way a tail sits, or even if you follow the pattern directly, but you decide to assemble it completely different. I know a girl that did that, flipped everything upside down and pinned it together that way. And you know what? It turned out really stinking cute. It changed the whole personality of that pattern just from one little tiny shift. It's fun to just play. Anyway, at the time, I didn't think that I was learning anything, but when I look back on that, and I'm going to keep referring to my angel pig because that really was the first time that I tried to do something out of my comfort zone. It's the first time that I ever felt like I could try something different. It scared the hell out of me. I absolutely love the way that it turned out. But that's really when I started seeing shapes. That's when I started sculpting with yarn. No, that sounds so weird and awkward and a little bit different, but really that's what you're doing when you're creating the shapes. I started noticing how things were put together and how little changes could make such a huge difference. I wasn't trying to be a designer. I wasn't trying to be clever. I wasn't trying to know things. I was just curious, and that was enough. I didn't need to know everything. I didn't need to change everything. Sometimes just swapping, like I said, one little piece, that's enough. Maybe changing the amount of stuffings, stretching pieces out. I need to digress a little bit because I get on a tangent and I apologize. I feel very passionate about this because creativity and the expression of creativity has changed my life in more ways than I would have ever even imagined. It's deeper than just changing the stitches. It's deeper than just changing the pieces or parts of a pattern. I don't know how else to say it. It's like unleashing your creativity. As a child, I remember I was so creative. I used to write plays for my mom and get my brother and my sister, and we would act out these plays. We each had our own character. We had lines. We practiced. We had themes. I loved playing in the mud, and don't come at me because, yes, I was that girl. I loved playing in the mud so that I could make things. I remember sitting under a tree in my aunt and uncle's house and creating entire roadways because I love I love cars, period. But I love the little matchbox cars. And I would go underneath the roots and they would become a bridge. And the creativity was there. And somehow throughout the years, as I grew up, I lost it. I lost that creative part of me, that part of me that just made up worlds or didn't care what everybody around me thought. I just wanted to have fun. And crochet has given that back to me because that creative freedom, it's not just about the stitches, it's deeper than that. Bottom line though, there's a line between making something your own and copying somebody else's work and calling it new. There's a big, huge difference for that. It's like you have like the Grand Canyon, right? I'm talking big. Making something your own is on one side. Copying somebody else's work and calling it new is completely different. Like there really isn't a separation. This is not new. It's a flying pig. It's mine, but it's not a new pattern. It's a combination of patterns that other people worked really, really hard to create. I just mixed and matched them and put them together in a way that worked for me. Here's how I think about it. In a nutshell, if you're combining patterns to make something personal, like my angel piggy, just for you, that is absolutely beautiful. But if you're taking somebody's pattern, changing a few things and calling it your own, that's not design. It's not even remixing. It's not okay. It's just not okay. There's a difference between exploring and rebranding somebody else's hard work. So I don't think we have to be afraid of that line. We just have to respect it. There's no reason you can't explore. You just need to be aware of that ethical line and respect it. Like I said before, just keep the credit where credit is due. If you want to combine patterns, if somebody asks you where you got the pattern, let them know. Well, I got this from over here and I got this from over here. And I just kind of threw this one in because designers, we're not gatekeeping. We're not. We just want to feel respected. We put a lot of work into our patterns. You can explore. You should explore. You don't have to be a designer to do that. You don't have to write a pattern or launch a shop or reinvent the wheel. You just have to follow the part of you that's curious. That's the most important point that I want to make. Allow yourself to be curious. Allow yourself to explore. Allow yourself to have fun. As grown folks, we need that. It's almost like we need permission to have fun because we're not kids anymore and people expect us to do the adulting thing. When I was getting ready for this video, I started thinking about, reflecting on my life and what happened. Where did I lose it? Because I was very creative and then all of a sudden I went for 30 plus years, almost 40 years without the ability to create. It's like it never went away, but it was hidden. It was locked away. It was all of the things that it's not cool. So I want that for you. I want you to feel how it is to allow your creativity to roam free. So let it go. Just explore and have fun. And it's yarn. You're not going to hurt anybody by doing it. You're not going to mess anything up because if you don't like how it looks, just frog it. Rip it, rip it, rip it. Anyway, that's really where it all started for me. Not with some big design idea other than I wanted my piggy. This one project didn't make me a designer. It was perfect for me. It was enough. I needed to give myself permission. And you can do that too. You can totally, if you need a permission slip, this is it. You got it. You have the permission slip to explore. You don't need to publish it. You don't need to explain it other than giving credit where credit is due. You don't need to make it perfect as long as it's perfect for you. So if you've ever wanted to change something in a pattern just to make it feel more like you, it's not wrong. It's not crossing a line. It's just creativity and you deserve that. I'm going to dig into this a little bit deeper next week because I am going to be combining 2, maybe 3 patterns to make one single solitary piece. I will be letting you know which patterns that I'm using so that if you want to do the same thing, you totally can. And we'll talk about all the things to look for when you're combining patterns and different pitfalls that you should avoid. I cannot wait to see you next week. And again, if this hit home, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. It's a awesome thing.